Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Maston and I'm so excited to have you here. If you're new here, I'd love to have you guys stick around. I post anything from homeschooling encouragement to some DIY projects here around our house, and then just honestly whatever I feel called in that moment. But I really wanted to chat with you guys today, especially if you are considering homeschool. So if you're sitting there wondering whether you should homeschool, or maybe you're feeling stuck, then this video is for you. I really wanted to come to you guys today with a video that I hope will be helpful for the moms that just kind of feel stuck in their tracks. And I will not be gatekeeping or, overcomplicating anything. I really just want to give you guys simple tools to help you feel confident in this journey and really weigh out if it's for you or not. So I also want to encourage you guys not to make the same mistakes I made. So if I was brand new to homeschooling in 2026, like just completely starting from scratch, maybe feeling overwhelmed or watching everything happening in the world today and just feeling that nudge in my spirit, maybe thinking I should be doing something different, then this is exactly what I would do. And so I want to take you guys through some tangible steps to really help you decide if this is for you. Now, I don't want to set the panic alarm, and I don't want to encourage you guys to, go on Safari and have 47 tabs open, because I've done the research spirals, and I definitely don't want to encourage you guys to try to recreate like a Pinterest school. I want to just help you guys keep it simple, clear, and peaceful. Because I know a lot of moms right now are probably feeling this nudge, and I know myself, I'm just thankful that we are homeschooling, and I feel like the Lord, put me in this place to encourage other moms. So if you're feeling that nudge, instead of fear, you need a plan, okay? So if I were you starting fresh, this is truly where I would begin. So step one, I say get clear on your why. And now your why cannot be fear-based. And I encourage you not to just, follow the trends or not be, encouraged by like social media pressure, but just get very clear on that why. And this was something, in actually a previous video, I talked on this as a number one step too, because I feel so passionate about that. You need to have a why for those hard days. So I think, before curriculum, before scheduling, and definitely before pulling your kids from anything, I feel like you should sit down with your spouse and, ask yourselves these questions. For me, one of the questions I'd ask is, what do I want my child's childhood to feel like? And, just ponder on that. Maybe even ask, what kind of adult am I trying to raise? And what values matter most in our home? I think those are the three core questions that really helped my husband and I, kind of hone in and decide if this journey was for us. So your why is going to be your anchor, because homeschooling will have its hard days. It'll have messy days. And I feel like if your why is, fear-based or out of comparison, it's hard to, not want to quit. So if your why is connection though, and maybe it's discipleship for your children, maybe you're craving slower mornings with them, or you're, passionate about protecting their childhood or being more present, then that is a why that will carry you. Step two, I say start simple. And I truly mean this. I feel like, I don't even know if Pinterest is a huge thing now. I should say Instagram worthy. But I feel like it shouldn't be like that Pinterest perfect. And if I could go back, truly, I would have just chose the one solid open and go curriculum and just relieve myself from, the failure, I felt in the first 2 years. And not have to research for 6 months. Decision fatigue is what overwhelms new homeschool moms the most. And obviously, if you're watching this video, then you're kind of in that place. You're trying to make those decisions and, you're weighing out, your options. And I think that's great. I think it's important to do those things. But just know that you do not need 5 different, math programs. You do not need a custom literature plan for your child. You don't need a color-coded homeschool wall. As you can see here, we homeschool at our dining room table, and it has truly been such a blessing. My kids do their morning time right at the breakfast counter, and yes, it's not, the prettiest setup, but it's worked for us, and I just like that, it is in our living space, and it's something that's simple. And I feel like, too, we've made everything so simple that it's also allowed it to be a repeatable process. So for us, having something structured like the Good and the Beautiful curriculum was huge in the early years. And I still use that curriculum today. It's open and go. It's laid out clearly. And it helped me remove the mental load so much. At the beginning, I had chose a curriculum that just required a lot of planning ahead. And at the time, I only had, I had my 2 children at the time. And, even then it felt like a lot. So I can't imagine if I didn't have the open and go style now with 4. And then 2, I just feel like you have to, focus on less and not more. And you can always tweak later. But at the beginning, I think just, choose simple and commit. Step 3, I would focus on the core subjects first. So obviously you have to, figure out your state standards, which I can link a great resource in the description to check out your state standards. But if I was starting homeschool in 2026, I would focus on 3 things: math, language arts, reading, and that's it. And I do love that the Good and the Beautiful has things in their core subjects that can touch on other subjects. So science, yes, amazing, but I would add it gently. History can be so beautiful, but I would weave that in slowly. And your foundation should just be literacy and numeracy. And the part that I feel like surprises people, you can get those done in 1 to 2 focused hours. So it does not need to look like a 6-hour institutional day at home. I feel like kids learn faster one-on-one, and there's a lot, obviously less transition time at home and less busy work. And can I just say something that might surprise you too? You don't need permission to do this. You don't need to be a certified teacher. And you do not need to know everything before you start. I wish someone would have told me those things when I had started. I was literally going to school to teach, and working in the public school system, I still tried to overcomplicate homeschool in the beginning. And take it, from someone who has paid the dumb tax for my past mistakes, having something simple versus complex is honestly going to make your homeschool journey so much more meaningful. I just can't stress that enough. You want to find those meaningful moments in your homeschool. And then step 4, this was life-changing for our homeschool, building a rhythm over rigor schedules. So this is where I see a lot of new moms burn out, and where I found myself my first 2 years of homeschooling. Trying to replicate school at home, and coming from someone who worked at a school, and I found myself trying to make it look like a regular school day at home. But if I was starting today, I would focus on daily sustainable rhythms, and that's exactly what we practice today. We wake up, we do breakfast together, my kids have their morning time, this is when they do their Bible time, we do breakfast, and everything's done right here in the kitchen at the counter. And then we do one subject, short break, then we do a second subject, we do read alouds, and then done. Consistency honestly beats intensity every single time. And if you can build a rhythm that your kids expect and you can sustain that rhythm, you will truly win the day. So I always think, you can increase the rigor later, as you get more consistent. But if you start too intense, you will find yourself burnt out and wanting to quit. And that is exactly where I found myself at the very beginning. Step 5 is protect your own confidence. And I feel like this is huge. If I was starting in 2026, I would immediately limit comparison. This is something that I found myself in. I fell right into the comparison trap at the beginning, looking at other, homeschooling moms on Instagram and YouTube and thinking, my homeschool looks nothing like that. Feeling like a complete failure. So I encourage you not to go follow 50 homeschool accounts. And I would, try really hard not to consume every opinion. I would be really intentional about what I was consuming. And honestly, because the mental load we as moms carry can easily burn us out, I would just try to be really cautious of that. And I definitely wouldn't waste time arguing online. I feel like you do not need that outside validation. You need conviction. And something I've learned here is confidence truly grows through action. So you're not going to feel 100% ready at the beginning, and that's okay. You're definitely not going to have all the answers at the beginning, but something that I remind myself all the time, because I still don't have this thing figured out, is that I care more about my children than anyone else on this planet. And that matters more than any credentials that someone holds. So I hope that encourages you, that if you're not feeling ready and you don't feel like you have it all figured out, it's okay. Step 6, I would start small and adjust. So you don't have to pull the trigger in some dramatic way. Maybe you try summer learning at home, or you do after school math together, or maybe it's just kind of reading more intentionally together. You could even practice slower rhythms as a family on the weekends, and then ease in. I feel like if you start gradually, it kind of allows room for, that intentionally leading your home. And this is something that for us, because we did kind of switch from having, time schedules to these daily rhythms, I kind of see it playing out in our real life now too. So I just say start gradually, and however that looks for your family. So yeah, those are basically the things that I would do. Obviously, if you came here looking for a step-by-step video, I hope this was just encouraging that you don't have to have it all figured out. And if you're watching this and you feel that nudge, maybe that quiet thought that says, maybe I am supposed to be doing something different, I just want to tell you that, you're not crazy for thinking that way, and you're not extreme, even if the world tells you you are. You're just a mom who cares deeply. And you don't need to have the next 12 years figured out. I think it's important just to kind of focus on that next right step for you and your family, and then start simple. Keep your why in front of you and let it grow from there. So anyway, guys, if this video encouraged you or it helped bring some clarity, I'd love for you guys to stick around. On this channel, I do share step-by-step homeschool encouragement. I like to give curriculum insight. And I really, mostly recently, but I like to share what this actually looks like as a mom of 4. So I just want to thank you guys so much for spending this time with me today. I truly believe there's so much peace available in this journey, especially when we approach it intentionally. And I'd love to keep encouraging you in that. So if any of this resonated with you, I hope you'll click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.